Hi, I'm Joro5 and welcome to the first proper episode of the Star Citizen All Vehicles Buying Guide. If you have not watched the How It Works video yet, I strongly recommend starting there. That video explains the tier structure, the salvage score and the logic behind the whole guide. This is not a pure power ranking, and the placement of each vehicle is based on ownership value, not just raw performance. Let's go! The 100i is part of the 100 series that is a sort of starter ship line from Origin, and the 100i is the touring civilian version. It is a size 1 ship, which means that can be claimed from land vehicle pad. It can be bought in-game and can carry a passenger because it has a bed and walkable interior. Sadly, it has not a bathroom. It can carry a small amount of cargo. It is light armored, but it has something like an interceptor tuning. The stock configuration is adequate. You may want to change the slow quantum drive and the 2 laser repeater. The acquisition is reasonable, as the ship costs about 1 million UEC. The leverage is limited because it doesn't give a real advantages, but the value return is conditional because it's a size 1 ship that can be claimed from land vehicles, can carry a passenger and a small amount of cargo. The activity scale though is basic and the game presence is faint. The ergonomics is smooth. I just don't like the slow animation of entering and exiting the piloting seat, and that the cargo is a bit annoying to load. The 100i belongs to the shadowy tier because, as we are going to see, there are even better alternatives in the same 100 line. The 125A is the combat variant of the 100 series and is very similar to the 100i, and in fact it's a size 1 ship that can be claimed from land vehicle pad, can be bought in-game, can carry a passenger, has a bed, walkable interior, it lacks a bathroom, it is light armored, it has something like an interceptor tuning, and this variant has increased speed and maneuverability. The stock configuration is adequate thanks to the military components, but it retains the same slow quantum drive, and unless you want to fight light targets, replacing the weapons is mandatory. The acquisition is demanding because its price is even higher than the one of the Avenger Titan, which is far more resourceful. In the context of combat, the leverage is limited, but the value return is conditional thanks to the ability to be claimed from the land vehicle pads. The activity scale is basic, and the game presence is faint, and it shares the same ergonomics of the 100i. In my opinion, this is the best variant of the 100 series, and it belongs to Quirky Peak. The 135C is the cargo variant of the 100 series. It shares the same features of the other ship in the line, while adding 4 SEU of cargo for a total of 6 SEU of cargo. It has a light armor and an entry-level interceptor tuning. For a light cargo, the stock configuration is suboptimal, and the reason for that is the annoyingly slow quantum drive. The acquisition is demanding because its price is even higher than the one of the Nomad. In the context of transportation, the leverage is very limited, and the value return is conditional just for the ability to be claimed from the land vehicle pad. The activity scale is basic, the game present is faint, and the ergonomics is just serviceable, because for a cargo ship, having to deal with the internal cargo placed inside the living area is just annoying. In my opinion, the 135C belongs in Shadow. For the same price, there are far better cargo alternatives, and inside the 100 lines, I prefer the increased speed and maneuverability of the 125A. The 300i is the base variant of the 300 series, which is a sort of upgraded version of the 100 series. It is a size 2 ship that can be bought in-game and can carry a passenger since it has a bed and walkable interior. It has a small cargo grid of 8 SEUs of cargo, it is light armor and is very fast and has a proper interceptor tuning. And it also has a bathroom. the stock configuration is adequate. Since it's not a combat ship, the only thing that you may want to change is the slow quantum drive. The acquisition is reasonable, but in the same price range you have both the Avenger Titan and the Nomad. The leverage is limited. It is a fast personal transportation ship, but the small quantum fuel capacity is a real limit. The value return is poor because for this price there are better alternatives to consider even inside the 300 series. The activity scale is basic and the game presence is faint, and the ergonomics are serviceable, and the reason for that is the cargo grid that is quite glitchy to operate. The 300i belongs in Shadowware. The 315P is the exploration variant of the 300 series. It is a size 2 ship that can be bought in-game, can carry a passenger since it has a bed and workable interior. It has a cargo grid of 12 SU, which is the biggest inside the 300 series. It is light armored, it is fast, has a proper interceptor tuning, a bathroom, and a tractor beam that replaces the nose-mounted weapon. The stock configuration is ready. It has stealth components that help go unnoticed, a decent quantum drive, and ballistic repeaters that are good enough for small threats. The acquisition is reasonable. For this price there are interesting alternatives, but this ship offers something unique. The leverage is useful. This is because it can be considered as a light cargo with decent quantum fuel capacity, high speed, and an entry-level stealth profile. The value return is conditional. This is because it depends on what you're looking for in this price range. The activity scale is basic, but this is only because at the moment smuggling is not a real thing. The game presence is occasional. It is not that rare to see a 315P flying around. And finally, the ergonomics are sadly awkward, and the reason for that is that the tractor beam is only frontal facing and cannot be used to load cargo inside the ship, and additionally, the cargo grid is glitchy and annoying to operate. The 315P belongs in Quirky Peak. Despite all the shortcomings, it's an interesting ship with unique features. The 355A is the combat variant of the 300 series. It is a size 2 ship that can be bought in-game, can carry a passenger because it has a bed and workable interior. It has a very tiny cargo grid that can carry 4 SUs of cargo. It is light armored, it's very fast and has a proper interceptor tuning. It has also a bathroom. Compared to the other ship in the 300 line, the 355A has a size 4 weapon on the nose hardpoint, an increased missile loadout, lower cargo capability, but increased speed and agility. The stock configuration is adequate. The only thing that you may want to change is the weapon loadout, because the ship has a complete set of military-grade components. The acquisition is reasonable. And the reason for that is that for its price, what you get is a full set of military-grade C component on top of a great ship for personal transportation that has decent interceptor-like combat capabilities. The leverage is useful, provided that one takes into account that the ship trades resistance for speed. In PvE, you just move fast between the enemies while applying ballistic damage, while in PvP, it works best in a group, where the ship can act as a flanker, applying opportunistic damage and avoiding trading fire with the enemy. The value return is efficient, because for this price you get a ship that can move around some cargo, have a very specific combat profile and a full set of military-grade component. The activity scale is dedicated to light combat, but the ship also offers some kind of versatility. The game presence is faint and the ergonomics are serviceable. The 325A belongs in Quirky Peak. It's a combat ship that excels in avoiding combat. The 350 is the racing variant of the 300 series. But the fact is that racing is currently not available in the PU, so I'm going to ignore every racing ship. Additionally, a racing ship is really a personal taste. The best way to pick your favorite one is to try every racing ship and decide by yourself. The 400i is a luxury exploration ship. It is a size 4 ship that can be bought in-game, and officially it is a ship designed for a crew of 3, but it can still be run solo. The pilot controls 2 size 4 weapons and a good amount of missiles. The rest of the crew operate 2-man turrets, each fitted with size 3 weapons. The ship has 3 beds, walkable interior, and a small cargo grid able to carry 40 SUs of cargo. Sadly, it is just able to carry small vehicles. It's well armored. It is also Mr. Rich, and for its size, it's fast and agile. It also has a nice bathroom. The stock configuration is adequate. Optionally, I would install a faster quantum drive and harder hitting weapons. The acquisition is demanding. After all, lore-wise, you are paying for a luxury aesthetic, which, to be fair, is well done. The leverage is limited. For its size, its biggest limit is not being able to carry a Ursa Mythic. The value return is conditional, because despite its high price and limitations, the ship offers a pleasant experience. The activity scale is basic. It is a ship ideal for personal transportation and small errands, and the ergonomics are smooth. The 400i belongs in Quirky Peak. Despite its limitation, it deserves to be loved. The 600i is a size 5 exploration ship. It is officially a ship designed for a crew of 5. However, 2 of them are supposed to be a sort of scientific operators, a role that does not yet exist in the game. And since the pilot has direct control of the main weapons, the ship can be run solo just fine. It can be bought in-game. It has of course a walkable interior and, as you can expect, many beds and, in my opinion, the best captain quarters in the game. The cargo grid is very small, especially if you consider the size of the ship, but at least it can carry an Ursa Mythic. It also has a high armor profile and some bathrooms. The stock configuration is flawed, and the reason for that is that the ship has only one power plant, which is not nearly enough to run all the components and the default energy-based weapon loadout. This makes a necessity to replace all the weapons with ballistic one and possibly to turn off the remote turret. And this operation will cost you an additional 1 million. It is interesting though that the 600i has a size 3 radar, which is not common even for ships of this size. The acquisition is high burden. The ship is priced 27 million, which is 10 millions more than a C2 and is only 3 millions away from a reclaimer. The leverage is limited because the ship doesn't give any real advantage, especially when compared to other ships of the same size. And the value return is poor because it offers too little for such a high price. The activity scale though is small operation. This is thanks to the ability to carry a Ursa Mythic and a considerable off-grid cargo capacity. The game presence is occasional and the ergonomics are awkward because the ship is penalized by a glitchy old design. The 600i belongs in Shadowed. The 600i Touring is the luxury touring version of the 600i. It is very similar to its sibling, but replaces the central body with a luxury hotel-like interior featuring an overly spacious hall and cozy passenger cabins. As a result, the ship is no longer able to carry land vehicles or meaningful cargo. This means that the ship takes on all the problems and loses the ability to carry out small-scale operations. The 600i Touring belongs in the dark. The 85X is a luxury size 1 runabout, which means of course that can be claimed from land vehicle pad. It is light armored and is quite agile. it can carry a passenger, but it's more than that. Since the passenger can control the lower turret of the ship, the 85X fully qualified as the smallest multi-crew ship available. If the passenger takes no control of the turret, the weapon is controlled by the pilot. For this reason, the ship is soloable, and of course, it can be bought in-game. The stock configuration is ready. You get a decent quantum drive and a coherent weapon package. The acquisition is favorable. The 85X is priced $500,000, which makes it the cheapest ship that can be claimed from a land vehicle pad, carry a passenger and quantum jump. The leverage is limited. Despite being cool and fun to fly, this ship doesn't give any real edge. The value return is efficient. This is a $500,000 that you won't regret spending. The activity scale is basic, but hear me out. Using this ship for PvE mission is quite fun. With a full ballistic setup, this ship is wild. It's so much fun to use. Compared to the Arrow, this ship has an insane maneuverability. It even has higher speed and acceleration. Sure, what is protecting you is just a thin foil. This ship is really fragile. But if you ask me, this is part of the fun. If you embrace this philosophy, the activity scale can be increased to dedicated. Sadly, the game presence is faint and the ergonomics are serviceable. It has some minor issues and cockpit visibility problems, but nothing too severe. The 85X belongs in Quirky Peak. The 8090 Jump is a capital luxury ship. It is the only capital ship at the moment that can be bought in-game directly from a store. This is a multi-crew ship. The pilot can fire only a bunch of missiles, but don't get me wrong, as a logistic platform, the ship has an utility also in solo. It has a lot of beds and a vast workable interior. It has a decent cargo grid, as it is able to carry 6 containers alongside additional SCU even in the internal hangar. Yes, the ship has an internal hangar, complete with refuel and rearm services. The hangar is large enough for a medium fighter, and the 8090 Jump has ways to carry even large vehicles. It features a T2 medical bed, which is able to respawn planet-wise. The armor profile is very high, but not nearly comparable to capital ships like the Polaris or the Idris. But at least it has the same amount of PDCs as the Polaris. And, as you can expect, it has bedrooms. Actually, it has much more than that. It has pools, restaurant, and even a trendy lounge bar. The stock configuration is ready. After all, capital ships has something like bespoke components, and since the ship is not combat oriented, there's no real reason to swap the default weapons. The acquisition is demanding. This is the most expensive ship in the game, but after all, this is a capital ship. The leverage is strong, because in my opinion, it is a good logistic platform. But the value return is conditional, and the reason is that for half the price you can get a reclaimer, which is a money maker. So in the end, it depends on what we are looking for, because for every aspect that this ship covered, there is a cheaper alternative. The activity scale is small operation. The only reason it doesn't go up to large operation is for its lack of staying power. The game presence is occasional, if not even familiar from time to time, and the ergonomics are smooth. There are some minor annoyances, but after all, the ship is easy to operate. The 8090 Jump belongs in broad appeal. Despite the luxury label, this is the real capital for the masses. You don't have to compete with bots during limited sale waves or grind for weeks to get it from Wicklow. You just gather enough UEC, go to a store and just buy it. And that concludes the first episode. I know, I told that in the first episode I would have covered ships from numbers to B. Truth is, I overly underestimated an episode length, but I won't make you wait for long. Thank you for watching. Until the next time, see you in the verse.